With the final shape, we got so many new toys to play with, and for some reason, Bungie thought it would be best to completely throw the idea of balance into the gutter, stomp on it a few times, and then tell it it's actually adopted. Well, Bungie, if that's a game you want to play, then let me show you some stupid builds. I am bringing back comment-suggested builds. Good or bad, intended for suffering or success, I want to re-inject fun into the Crucible again, because why win if you hate yourself a little bit more after every game? Did you know it's not illegal to carry 2 swords anymore? You can just take 2 and the Vanguard secretly can't stop you. Well, I wanted to simulate a holy crusade to reclaim the holy land of Monkey Brain on this Stronghold's Titan with Ergo Sum. You may notice that the Ergo Sum doesn't spawn with ammo, nor does it pick up ammo from bricks, but I believe this to be intentional based off the perk's description and the fact that I hear a Dark Souls boss music whenever I do acquire ammo. My Ergo Sum ran the Wayframe archetype with Telesto just to remind Bungie that a broken crucible is the way God intended it to be. While the third banana doesn't deal enough damage to kill on light attacks by default, Bungie saw it fit in their infinite wisdom to allow heavy attacks too, effectively guaranteeing that no overly invested 14-year-old won't have to start a hedge fund to replace their broken controllers with me in their game. Banner of War is a horrible aspect. It actively trains its users to make stupid plays and then reinforces that behavior by granting health and sword damage. Of course, ammo won't drop unless the bodies do, so while my brain isn't locked into the one-track mind of playing Doom Eternal with a lightsaber, I'm using a slice hand cannon. This one happened to drop from Crucible. The goal here is to apply this strand debuff so I can learn more bad habits with Into the Fray, which gives me Woven Mail and melee energy. With these 2 aspects permanently fixated to my left and right butt cheek respectively, I can swing my way through Crucible like a recovering addict at a police storehouse, using my guard to position myself close enough to opponents so that I can see the hope die in their eyes as they watch helplessly as their 5-kill streak was just ended by the most cheesy, unfair bullshit to ever grace Shax's eyes. Titans weren't meant to do thinking. They were meant to make the mistakes, and punching anyone that tells them that they are making mistakes. Thusly, I ran grapple to both make and correct mistakes quickly. All of my armor is heavily focused on my hand cannon because until Bungie allows me to start throwing the sword around like an anime protagonist, I ain't aiming this pointy stick anytime soon. Anything else can be found in the Mobalytics link in the description, just like our next build on Hunter. I've always felt like Arc Hunters feel like a slower version and more disappointing version of Void Warlocks. No, I don't run them just for the blink. What a wild accusation. Anyways, running blink on Arc Hunter with this cool stick I found that the game keeps calling the Edge of Concurrence might possibly be the most enjoyable experience in PvP ever since Shax started screaming at the top of his lungs whenever I do some cool shit. With this build, everyone else will look like they're playing Destiny while you found the Street Fighter minigame. Ability combos into abilities, and if you do these things long enough, you're rewarded with a funny stick firing a very angry shock gremlin that will one-hit kill anything including supers. If Bungie didn't want me to pretend to be a badly lip-synced kung fu movie, they wouldn't have buffed the Tempest Strike or given me the gifted conviction. A lot of online reviews seem to think that this chess piece is bad, but counter argument, I think that they're bad. While yes, the gifted conviction won't solve world hunger for you like many other exotics in the Hunter arsenal do, there is something to be said about looking like a sexy motherfucker while handing out naps like they're on clearance. Tempest Strike into your glaive or your hand cannon, or the new Ascension aspect on targets within their appropriate ranges is a 100% guaranteed way to net you kills 40% of the time. The other 60% is just mind games, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Once again, I find myself making the questionable and out of character choice of using a hand cannon, a 140 hand cannon at that. But you have to understand that I had a 20% off coupon at Banshee, and he was selling a hand cannon that had both 100 handling and snapshot sights. My handling is so fast I begin to aim down sights before my brain tells my fingers to clench. My handling is so fast I make spaghetti westerns jealous of my quick draw. My handling is so fast it makes tier 3 subs to Pokimane wince in fear at the thought. It literally takes me more time to register the need to ADS than it does for the weapon to be locked on a target's head. At this point, missing the first shot is a skill issue, and I don't know if I like that. Anyways, just press the buttons until something works. The hardest part is knowing when to block with the stick and knowing when to introduce their jugular to the pointy bit. Damn! Both these builds have been hella aggressive, huh? Is the thought I had before remembering that the support playstyles are now a thing. Beaker's Inside Mask is a quiet, devilish mastermind that I promise you will take over the sandbox as soon as everyone realizes how unfair free Orbs of Light and working version of 200 recovery stat really is. Using a healing grenade with a touch of flame for even more potent healing allows us to become the mercy main that Overwatch always wanted. The recovery is fast enough that you can very easily out-duel targets who had the first shot on you. This grants your, or or more likely your teammates, the option to play with an even lower IQ than somebody who's already playing D2 PvP, like we already have. Unfortunately, you can't heal stupid all the time, and in those times, nothing fixes mistakes faster than violence. Once again, in Bungie's infinite wisdom, they gave us an exotic that shatters the boundary of balance like an iPad trying to block a mortar shell. Red Death will give both yourself and your allies, but more importantly yourself, a cure X2 every time you hit a kill and then a reload. This cure, and all healing for that matter, will work with the speaker's insight, which means that by playing like a greedy little kill-stealing loot goblin like we are, we can give everyone an orb of light. The PvE players know how to use and abuse orbs of power better than I can, but I think that the fourth column artifact mod that gives us a 15-second spot of radiance is pretty freaking stupid. Of course, because all of our buffs up to this point are solar, we can use the Ember of Empyrean to increase their durations after kills while buffed. If you thought that Titans taught bad habits, Warlocks know how to make far smarter and far more catastrophic mistakes. Unfortunately, for our time playing make-believe as the Traveler's most violent healer, many Guardians understand that bullets make things dead, and for now, we aren't necromancers and self-res is gone, so we haul ass out of dangerous situations with the Icarus dash. But if the Civilization version of Gandhi has taught me anything, it's that violence is not just the answer, it's also the question. For our enemies, the question is simply, is that shotgun you're trying to rush me down with actually in range? Because if not, then it's time to learn the kill distance of a rapid-fire fusion. Try to stay behind your front lines and heal the mistakes of the idiots running the other two builds I mentioned here, but take some backup from this next Hunter build. No one likes to play the designated marksman in Destiny 2, but when they're making fun of you for your kills being low, remind them that a high KD is the mark of somebody giving the most ass kickings while mathematically taking the least. This build was designed while Cade's favorite sniper was giving its users 3 ammo per life and per meter. Thankfully, this new system works just as well for this build, and for some reason will still give us the opportunity to acquire 3 supers per game. This build uses the Knucklehead Radar to yet again teach more bad habits, like hard scoping this time. But we need something to back up our ranged assault on the brainstem of our enemies, and for that we run the newly revised Patron of Lost Causes. This scout rolls Strategist and Precision Instrument, Strategist giving us our dodge back more often, and Precision Instrument giving us the option to resilience check an entire enemy team. By bathing yourself in the Radiant buff, your Precision Instrument 200 scout can 3-tap any poor slob not running at least 7 resil. For the Titan mains out there, this clocks your TTK at a jaw-dropping 0.6. If you're keeping track at home, this is like having a sidearm with 60 meters of range and kill clip active. We, of course, are doing everything in our power to maintain this meta-breakingly fast kill speed, so we run both the Ember of Torches and the Acrobat's Dodge. The hardest part of this build is to be keeping your horny locked up, as you lack the tools needed in CQC. As Destiny begins to become more and more of a proper MMO, teamwork will begin to reward you greater and greater. Once again, if you want to get the details and stats of all these builds, or maybe steal my look, check the Mobalytics link in the description. Comment some stupid builds below so that I may roast them in future videos, and subscribe if you found my poorly disguised cries for help funny. Bless your faces, and deuces.